SABC Political editor Mzwandile Mbeje is at the Union Buildings in Pretoria this evening. A very good evening to you, Mzwai. As I said, very difficult decisions against the backdrop of people not only adhering to the regulations. We mentioned earlier on 131 officials, government officials, themselves being arrested for breaking lockdown regulations. So on the one hand, he wants to help us and the economy, but then there's these transgressions.
Oh, well, very good evening to you, Tsepiso. I guess the fact that we are in uncharted territory, so sometimes does make people do things that are not acceptable, even if they are told. Perhaps it doesn't matter who those people are, because we have never been here. And at some point, we have to understand that we are here. Difficult as it is, we are trying to learn new ways of adapting, but it's very, very difficult. But currently, as you know, we are being told by scientists, by doctors, that the only cure at the moment of this deadly virus is to really respect all those regulations that have been set out, social distancing, so that you can try and somehow contain this virus. But as I was saying, this is definitely a new territory, so not everyone is used to this, so somehow it becomes difficult. I guess, unfortunately, all of us will have to learn as we go along.
And the circumstances certainly unique, not only country by country, region by region. Africa has been noted for its about 70% plus in terms of population that is young, so some say we're less at risk. But the president has been talking about a further deployment of more than 73,000 members of the SANDF. Some see it as a warning. What is the interpretation from your point?
Well, Tsepiso, you can draw quite a number of interpretations from this deployment. The fact of the matter is that we are at the very early stages of this virus. And the sad situation, again, is that we are also at the beginning of our winter season. If you look at the kind of impact this virus had in the Northern Hemisphere, which at the time was winter, it was very, very deadly. So you can see that with the addition, perhaps, of things like normal flu and, of course, the virus, so that will be a huge burden on South Africans. And I don't think we are immune, Tsepiso, from what we are seeing happening elsewhere. I mean, the richest country in the world, the United States, is close to 50,000 in just over a month in terms of deaths. So at some point, we may have to live with the reality that perhaps we may find ourselves experiencing those kinds of situations where deaths would really become a reality. And in that instance, ordinary South Africans may not be able to cope with that situation. Remember, once you are tested and then you are found to be positive, so no one is able to come near you. Just imagine if there's a number of corpses that would have died, of people who would have died because of that. So the issue of the Defence Force will definitely come in. But of course, the Defence Force is not only about that. There are people who are engineers, there are people who are doctors who may need to assist in every way possible. So the capacity of the state is really being used to assist the country. I mean, we are not the most developed country in the world, so we would need all the assistance that we require.
All right, we're going to leave it there with SABC Political editor Mzwandile Mbeje. He is at the Union Building. So the clock, of course, ticking as we await that announcement by President Cyril.